Welcome. Tiny Hands, Big Dreams. Here on the homestead in southern Ecuador. Alright. This is an update. Things are getting weird.
Continuing to get weird.
They're continuing to get weird. Now, there has been 100 little things that have happened between the last video we did and this one. We're not going to get into all of them. There's so crazy much back and forth between the government, Naboa, and the indigenous, the protesters. There's just been an immense amount of like, well, you did this when you did this, and then I did this, then you did this, and then this, and then okay. So big news as it affects people who are vacationing here, moving here, trying to figure out like what the heck is going on in the Ecuador. Where we are, very little.
Honestly, we're completely unaffected so far. I think we'll probably have a little bit of trickle down by like this weekend.
There's been some small things. Like I said, I had some day work in a town like half an hour from here. The big mine that's down there, the big gold mine, did shut down voluntarily, I think.
I don't know.
I just heard that they have like stopped.
Well, they can't go where they need to go.
That may be true.
Like they can't. Their trucks can't go where they need to go. So
they're using the opportunity to voluntarily shut down for some reason. I didn't get a lot of details.
But we haven't had much price increase for anything.
No.
There's been a little bit here and there, but nothing huge. And there's been no roadblocks.
The guy said that there was some briefly in Loja, and then there was in Catameo.
But again, that's not us. I mean, it obviously affects anything that's coming from a big city to us, but we're pretty much...
There was a day or two where there wasn't gas being delivered. Propane. But that has resumed, it seems.
Yeah.
And is again available.
So that's part of it. Is I've been watching all the news. You've been working.
Yeah.
So I've watched news and replied to comments, which has taken up a significant portion of my life. And a lot of it is the government will clear the roads and then it'll be open and then the protesters will come back and they'll like block the roads. It's just going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth so often. So some things get through in those hours where it is clear.
Yeah.
And then it's not.
Yeah.
And so it's back and forth a lot. Do you want to go through the things?
Yeah, so here's some happenings.
Just sort of, I guess, some bullet points, some things. The protesters burned a police station in, I believe it was Otavalo. Yep. That's the thing that they did. A bunch of people were arrested. I don't remember how many. It was like 20-something maybe were arrested there.
Okay.
Because that's not a thing you get to do.
Yeah, so there's certain things that the government has come out and declared, if you do these things, that's breaking a law and we will arrest you. And then they do the things and then they get arrested.
Regardless of whether you agree with it, it doesn't matter what government you live under or what you think about it, if you agree or disagree or you think it's wrong. If you break the law of the government where you live, consequences.
Yeah.
Now, I did read something yesterday that people were reporting inter-provincial transports, like buses that go from province to province across the country, which gets you from any large city to any other large city or anywhere else. I mean, buses are a huge form of transportation.
The primary means of transportation in the country.
Certain ones in certain areas the tickets have increased 5 times, the ticket prices. So while that still is not a ton of money, it is a significant increase. Well,
I mean, if it's a $5 or $8 ticket, you're at $25 or $40, which is a lot of money here. And they're doing it. What was it? Because they're worried about.
No, they did not say.
They did not say.
No, for that particular bit of information I got, I have no other. There's no details on that.
So let me tell you about the bus drivers here. There are a lot of private companies. There's a lot of places. If you've watched like the most dangerous road in the world on like YouTube, where they do these things, and you see like buses on this like tiny little like road, and they've got like half of a tire over an 11 million high foot cliff, and they're like teetering around things. Some of that's here, and the bus driver is just like Like, they do it. They're pretty hardy. They go over roads that everybody else, at least from the States, would look at and be like, well, this is obviously closed, right? Like, you didn't finish building it. No, they just roll over it all day long. They're pretty kind of hard to type. So when they decide to stop going somewhere or raising the ticket price because...
Well, I don't know why they raised the ticket price.
To make it balance out for whatever risk they perceive or extra hardship, that's pretty intense.
So the routes from Quito to Imbabura, because these are all kind of like the main points of protest. The routes from Quito to Imbabura are either closed or they're alternate routes at a much higher price.
Yeah.
Because you're going up and around and things and stuff. South of Quito, there's just cancellations. And it said due to fear of damage to vehicles.
Yeah. Yeah. We have a friend up there. I might send her a message and just ask like her opinion. She lives in and amongst the indigenous people. She loves it. She thinks they're great people. I'd like to get her opinion on it. Yeah. See how things are, boots on the ground up there.
Yeah, because we can't really speak to boots on the ground because our boots are the same. Nothing's changed.
Yeah, we chose this area because it's just super chill.
It's very chill.
Now, our local indigenous tribe is the Shuar. They're very nice people. I've had some lovely conversations, and I always get invited to like dinner and their camp and their thing, and to come and like check it all out and learn about stuff. I'm like, when I have time, I'm going to do that. They're apparently not taking part.
Yeah, they opted out.
They opted out. As apparently, and I don't know all of the tribes, more than a few have opted out of taking part in this whole thing.
Now there were threats of possibly blocking oil wells as a further means to shut the country down.
Yeah, they're talking about
which
the oil wells, shutting down the roads for the gold and the copper mine.
Well, they already have.
Yeah.
I mean, essentially, even if they're not right at the mines, they've blocked or they are continually blocking all of the routes to get to any port or anywhere where anything needs to be.
Now, Ecuador is in a bit of a sticky spot. They've already had a ton of pipeline problems this year, which has made a massive cash shortfall, in addition to having to have large cash outlays to fix a really bad road season because of the El Nino. Yeah. La Nina? This stupid child thing. Whatever that is. Like whole towns just like buried under mud. They're still fixing some.
There's still routes that are completely closed. Like it took a lot of effort and money.
So they got that. There's the whole cartel situation, which they're actually really trying to hit really hard and do something about, that have been embedded for I don't even know how long, but a long time, not only in the country, but even embedded in the government and the military. So there's a lot of strife that happens there. And I know I've said it before, but if you're trying to get rid of a hornet's nest, the first thing you do is you start to attack the hornet's nest, and the hornets get angry. And it looks like it's getting worse while you're trying to make it better, which is also like cleaning the garage. You ever cleaned a garage?
Oh, yeah. Or a closet where you just like explode it all.
All right, closet. It looks so much worse. And then by the end, it's better. I'm going to go with that analogy.
I like that.
So there's, a budget shortfall and a thing, and there is accusations from both sides. Oh my gosh, back, forth, left, right, this, that. Okay. Yes, there are many things wrong. We're just trying to relay the bigger points of, without getting, really too much into the politics side of it, of like how it affects people that are here as just people.
Or people that want to visit, or people thinking of moving here.
Which I
still think that you should move here.
It's still a good place. Like, it's having a moment. Okay?
I think this is going to be a pretty significant moment.
The U.S. has had lots of these moments in the last few years.
But I think this is a significant moment. I know that many people have told us that this happens all the time. And there's always paros, there's strikes, it happens all the time. It's just a normal part of life. I personally do not think this is normal.
Can we have intestinal time talk? Oh, sorry, gut feeling. Yeah.
Whoa.
I like the faces that catch her off guard. I don't think this is one of them.
No, I think this is
different. And I know so many, this is that, and people just told us we're all so many things. Yeah, whatever. I don't think this is it. And here's where I think it's going to go different. This is total wild conjecture. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not. Let's wait till it all smooths out, and then we'll have some ceviche over it and a beer, and see who is right or wrong. I think that there is discontent in the greater groups of the indigenous in their power structure, however they have it set up. I'm seeing a fracturing in and amongst the groups, both the groups or at least the ones who are insisting on the protest and the indefinite paro and everything else, and the government have both said they absolutely will not yield. They will go down fighting to the end, to the death, to the millimeter, to
the consequences. That was the other one.
To the consequences, whatever that may be. Okay. This is like two boxers going at it, and you're like, well, one way or another, somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose.
It's going to be a little bit ugly to get there.
Yeah.
Whichever way it ends up being, whichever way you think it should be, it's going to be kind of ugly. This
is not the normal, we're going to make a lot of fuss and ask for, we really want our diesel subsidy back. We really wanted this. And that's people say it's not about that. But that's what started it. That's what kicked it off.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it was about everything else.
Now, some people say it was the last straw. And if it was the last straw, then I didn't hear about all the other straws.
The other straws weren't on our radar.
No one ever told anybody about the other straws.
We try to keep tabs on it all. And if there was other straws, you're not doing a good job publicizing it.
Yeah.
How I see this playing out. I think that there's going to be a bit of a power play struggle going on within the indigenous. I'm not sure. Oh, and there's also a bunch of weirdness with a bunch of people from other countries getting arrested on terrorism things, something.
Well, there were two of the people arrested when they burned the police station were, I think, Venezuelan.
Yeah.
Why are you part of this?
There's also apparently the trend day,
which I think they legally, if I remember correctly, they legally cannot protest.
Right, you're not allowed to protest. The trend day, whatever the gang is.
I'll go.
Those guys, there were some of them arrested as part of this as well.
Yeah, those were the Venezuelans.
Those are the Venezuelans. Yeah. That's weird. Get out of there.
You're not supposed to be part of this.
All right, so everybody's going to fight to the end, huh? So. But a lot of the tribes are starting to opt out. There's a lot of pressure that is being put for them to all act as one people, and that
you're asking a lot of different people with different beliefs and ideals and ideologies to all fight for the same thing.
I don't see it working out for them. I think that their organization may come out on the losing hand on this and may fracture and actually lose power in the long term because of it. And we moved here, and there was the indigenous, and they could do a thing, and they kind of make a stink, and they could actually get the government to soften or move on issues a little bit. And we're that's probably a good safety check valve.
Oh yeah.
A check and a balance that the people sort of have that power.
But there's also a discussion about whether the indigenous are actually speaking for the general people of Ecuador or not.
There's been a bunch of lists of demands.
Yeah.
And we sit there and we look at it, we scratch our heads, and a lot of it comes down to money. We want money, spend money on the things, stop taking our money. A lot of it is
incredibly contradictory. That they want money for healthcare and education, but also the subsidy.
And also lower taxes, and also
have all of this. I mean, in a perfect world, I was talking to the 12-year-old about this, and I was like, in a perfect world, you would have enough money for all of these things, and it would just be a wonderful, magical place.
And if you sabotage our family way of earning money,
well, but my point is, in a perfect world, there could be enough money for all of these things, and wouldn't that be great if you had less, less expenses in the world?
Sure,
everyone wants that.
Yeah.
But that's not reality.
Not unless you print your own money and then try to
It's not reality.
degraded into the netherworld. It's not reality.
So you have to get the money from somewhere to put it in the other places that the people want.
This is just common sense, like without delving into the politics of things and the long history behind each and every one of these reasons on the surface. Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to sit here and say I agree with everything that the government has done in the wake of all of this. I'm still not sure. So the other point was...
well, they took away the TV station, too.
Yeah, they took away the signal for the indigenous... I have it up somewhere.
Yeah, my guess is that the indigenous had a content stream, and then the government had the antennas and the things and all the infrastructure to broadcast it, and they turned it off.
And that was in, I think, Latacunga.
Yeah. Now, was there reasons? Did they breach some sort of agreement, contract, a thing? Did they use it for evil? I don't know. Or was it just punitive?
I don't love that idea of taking away speech. I'm not big on taking away free speech, but also where does free speech turn into inciting violence, and then is it really free speech? Should you have free speech to say anything? I think it's very complicated when you talk about free speech.
Yeah.
So,
and then there was a complaint filed.
I don't know enough.
Okay.
There's constantly news coming out.
And
there is, for me, there is no way to find unbiased news sources. We are struggling through translated reports of things from different people, and I don't know enough about each organization to know what their biases are.
And sometimes we get a piece and we look at it and we're like, well, this is clearly written purely as a propaganda piece for this side, or this is a propaganda piece for the other side. So maybe there's some facts in there.
We're always trying to kind of find the facts. If there's a video of something happening, we can go with that.
Yeah. Throw us a link. We'll watch it.
Yeah.
It's getting weird. I don't think this is normal.
I don't either.
I don't think it's going to end up normal.
If we're just talking about kind of why we started doing these particular videos.
Yeah.
Because it's gone into a very political. I've spent so much time in the comments of trying to argue about politics with people.
If you can't be
really want to.
respectful of people just trying to live and do things and have an opinion, you just don't. Go somewhere else.
Well, but I guess my point is we never intended this to be a political conversation.
No. We're
really just talking about how it affects us and the people that might
in
also
our community that live here that do stuff.
Or also, most of the people watching this were not originally before the last video Ecuadorian.
Yeah.
They were expats, foreigners living in Ecuador or considering living in Ecuador, and this is a hard thing to find information on. So we wanted to share that. So as far as traveling here, moving here, I would just not right now. And we've never said that before.
Yeah.
Even when things were terrible and unsafe, and everybody was like, it was a big ordeal, and
especially
you can't go to Ecuador.
The north part.
Well, but the problem is, I wouldn't try to fly into this country.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're going to have issues. Your traveling is going to be interrupted. You don't know where, you don't know when, you don't know in what way. Oh, I wouldn't do it. Now, if you fly, if you wanted to get all the way to the southern part to Loja, and you flew into Catamayo, there were blocks there too.
Briefly.
Less so.
Yeah.
You probably still could.
And the difference this time is they're not letting them continue to just block the road.
They're not just letting it continue to clear it, and you'll have some amount of time where it's clear. You could still travel. If you want to be anywhere in the northern part of the country, or I guess Cuenca, we just saw a video in Cuenca, that wasn't great either. I wouldn't go to a big city, and I would stay away from sort of the Quito general area.
Yeah.
I would even hesitate wanting to fly into Quito right now. Because I don't think you can get out of Quito unless you're flying out.
Yeah.
I think you'd be stuck.
I'm sure bouncing through the airport's probably fine.
Yeah. But if you try to get a road, But remember, if you're in keto if you're at the airport, don't try to get to keto.
Oh,
because
yeah.
that is 45 minutes or something.
Yeah.
If you go to the airport, you land in the airport, you stay in the airport, you get on another plane, you're fine.
There's a decent little coffee shop downstairs. I've slept there.
But as far as as moving here, you should still move here. Yeah. You just might want to give it a minute.
Just give it a minute.
It'll sort itself out one way or another.
And we'll do updates every so often. Like there's like 20 different like crazy things that happen every day. We don't have like the ability to like report on all of them. There is strife, there is disagreement,
and you can disagree.
There's changes happening. Change is sometimes messy.
Yeah.
So let's we're just gonna keep on doing what we do, and we're gonna watch and we're gonna report it as we see it from our perspective, which is biased because it's us and we have our own.
We're humans.
Yeah.
We're not trying to be unbiased news sources. We're just honest about it.
Yeah. There you go.
Yep.
Well, thanks for watching. Hope to see you for the next one. Subscribe if you haven't, because there will be more updates. I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thanks for watching.